Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the newly released Kickstarter campaign by Precursor Games, I believe it's called. They are developing the spiritual sequel for Eternal Darkness, which was a cult hit for the Nintendo GameCube. And this spiritual sequel is called Shadows of the Eternal. And the game looks really, really good. It looks very similar to Eternal Darkness, and basically the people that are in charge Precursor Games are a bunch of former employees from Silicon Knights, which was the developer for the original Eternal Darkness. And Silicon Knights was a development studio from Canada that got closed recently. They got in all sorts of legal problems and financial problems. But a few of their members, including Dennis Dyack, which was the head of the studio, created this new company called Precursor Games, and supposedly they're going to be in charge of Shadows of the Eternal. And obviously I'm excited. I never funded a Kickstarter project until now because I really want to play this game. So I pledge, I think $25. So hopefully you guys are interested in this as well. So I'm gonna leave a link below if I can. I'm not sure if I can leave third-party links in the description, but I'm gonna try to put a link to the Kickstarter campaign page if you guys want to donate money. And the cool thing about Kickstarter is that if the project doesn't get funded, you get your money back. So it's it has like a safety net type of situation where you don't actually lose your money. But regarding the game itself, I'm obviously really happy. Eternal Darkness is one of my favorite GameCube games, and it was such a unique game with the sanity effects, and the genre of the game itself was really strange. It was like a psychological thriller with horror elements and coupled with the sanity effects. It was a really unique game that was a cult hit for the GameCube. So I'm obviously excited about Shadows of the Eternal. The footage that they have shown looks great, but I do have some worries that I want to discuss in this video with you guys. And the first one being the platforms that this game is being released. So far they said that this game is coming to the Wii U and the PC only. In my opinion, they should have just release these for the PS3 and the 360 because those systems have the largest user base right now at the moment. So the funding would have been much better and secure, I guess, if people that own those systems were involved. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because the project right now is not on track to be funded. The funding is going very slow, and if it keeps going at this pace, it will not meet its goal. Granted, they're asking for a lot of money. They're asking for $1.5 million, which is a lot, but and that's just for the first episode. So it would have been nice if PS3 and 360 owners were included. But I think maybe the issue that they have is that because this is a Nintendo IP, which by the way Nintendo owns the right to the Eternal Darkness series, and maybe that's why they didn't include the PS3 and 360 platforms. And here's my the second part that I'm worried about is not meeting the goal. Let's say the project does get funded, 1.5 million, that only covers the first episode. So I think the development of further episodes after that point will be dependent upon the success of how much copies the game sells. And I think this is going to be a digital only release, so it's going to be an episodic type of release where the game is divided into 12 episodes. So the success of the game will dictate if the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth episodes are released. And so we might end up with a Shenmue scenario here where we got Shenmue 1 and 2 but we never got 3. So you have this really awesome game with a really a great and intriguing storyline that is just left unfinished, and I really don't want that to happen with this game. Granted, the people from Precursor Games have said that the first episode, it will cost $1.5 million, but subsequent episodes are going to be much cheaper, because the $1.5 million is to create the resources, the character models from scratch, the environments from scratch. So once you have all those resources already made, it's much cheaper to work with those for subsequent episodes. So that's the good news, I guess. But I'm still worried that we may get the first episode, but we may never get the rest of them. So that's another worrisome fact. And another thing that has me worried is the fact that Nintendo owns the rights to the Eternal Darkness franchise or series, and I think the CEO from Precursor Games has come out and said that they talked to Nintendo, and Nintendo is fully supportive of the idea. They're cool that they're releasing a spiritual sequel to the game. But let me tell you something, guys. I watched the footage that you guys can see here in the back, and this is in no way a spiritual sequel to Eternal Darkness. This is a straight up sequel. I mean, I'm telling you guys, some of the environments aren't exactly the same as those used in the first game. The characters look extremely similar to the ones from the first game. The enemies, they look exactly like those from the first game, with the whole magic and the powers from the ancient, Selota, Chaturga, and Ulyov. All those things seem to be present. Not to mention like the Tome of Darkness, or whatever that book was called. It made an appearance again. So this is a straight up sequel. And what has me worried is that this game could be, if it gets funded, Nintendo may come out and say, wait a second, I mean, this game is actually, it's using actually things that we own, or we own the copyright for this, so they may halt the game. So if Nintendo is not fully involved, or if Nintendo is not publishing the game, we might have legal issues later on. And not to mention, Precursor Game, they released like the silhouettes of all the characters that they're going to be using, and one of those silhouettes looks exactly the same like the one from Alex Roivas, which is the main protagonist in the Eternal Darkness game. So I mean, so many things point towards that this is a straight up sequel. Nothing spiritual about it. This is a game that's on the same universe as Eternal Darkness. So potential copyright issues are very likely to happen, and that's not good, because that could halt the development of the game. And another thing that has me worried is that Nintendo obviously funded, and they hired Silicon Knights from Canada for the first game, and Nintendo actually supervised the game, and I believe the game got scratched once or twice, and they had to start the project from scratch, because Nintendo is very well known for being very strict with the developers that they work with, and your work has to meet a certain quality standard before the game is released. And I believe that's the case with the latest Luigi's Mansion game for the 3DS. I think the game took like 3 or 4 years to come out because Nintendo wasn't happy with the overall I guess development of the game, so they just straight up told the developer, we don't like this, start over. And that could be, well, I mean, the fact that Nintendo is not publishing and not supervising this game could affect the the outcome and the overall quality of the game. But so I'm really worried about this game, about this project. I want to see it come to fruition, because I really enjoyed the first Eternal Darkness game for the GameCube. So I think it's worth giving those guys from Precursor Game a shot. Pledge some money to see this project come to life, and hopefully it does. And hopefully we're gonna get the full 12 episodes, because the game looks actually really interesting. So and like I said, the graphics look great, and the game is slated for a PC and Wii U release. So hopefully you guys are interested and pledge some money. But if not, that's cool. So I guess we'll see what happens in about a month, which is when the Kickstarter campaign comes to a stop. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.